ask you a question. Have you ever actually stopped to think about how no matter what we try to do, no matter how much effort we put forward, we can't stop life from changing? That life is just in this constant dance of change. So it's famously been said that the only constant in life is change. So then the question becomes, how do you view change? Is it like a constant source of frustration for you and you just wish everything would stay the same? Or do you embrace change and welcome the hidden blessings that are contained within an ever-changing world? Well, that's what we're going to be discussing in today's video, guys, and how we can start utilizing change to really live a beautiful, extraordinary life. So stick around. G'day guys, welcome to today's video. So as I stated before, we're going to be looking at change and how it's the only constant in life and how we can actually start to grasp and use this change to make our lives better. The thing that inspired today's topic was I was reading a quote by the ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus. Now this is a quote that I'm sure you may have heard before, but if not, it goes something like this. A man never steps in the same river twice, for the river has changed and so has the man. And this really got me thinking about my own life as well. Understanding that every moment is fleeting, it's transient. The moment that you're aware of the moment, that moment's gone and a new moment has replaced it. So think about in your own life, think about yourself. Are you the same person you were yesterday? Are you even the same person you were an hour, half an hour ago? Because every minute, every hour, we're continuously growing, learning. Our body is processing cells and changing. And not just us, but the whole world around us, everyone else is just in this constant flux, this constant dance of change. And that's going to be at the heart of today's discussion and the heart of today's video. The fabric of change and how it weaves itself into our lives and how it can be viewed both as a challenge and as a gift. But more importantly, about how we can embrace the fact that change is the only constant in life, to roll with the punches and live a more enjoyable life, one with more fulfillment and more peace of mind. We'll also touch on some practical steps, mainly from the Buddhist philosophy, about how we can accept the fact that everything's going to change in our lives and how we can embrace it and find that greater fulfillment within our lives. And by the end of the video, I'm hoping that you'll be able to start to see change as not some kind of fearsome adversary to life, but actually a beautiful, natural part of our life's journey and how we can actually ride the wave of change to just have a bit more fun with life. So let's start with the nature of change. So it's everywhere, isn't it? Just take a look around. Everything is changing. From the blooming of a flower to the setting of a sun, the world is just a constant living canvas of change. But it's not just the world, it's us too. Think about it, your cells are constantly renewing. They say that every 11 years or so, every cell in our body is replaced. They're completely new cells. Also, think about our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our dreams. They're never static. So it's just like this beautiful, relentless dance of creation and recreation. And another beautiful thing about this is in this dance, we are both the dancers and the dance itself. Consider this, every morning brings a new day, but it's never just another day. It's a fresh start, it's a new chance. The earth, as it rotates and orbits the sun, never passes or never goes through the same point in space twice. So we are quite literally never in the same place twice. Everything is in motion, evolving, growing, and even decaying. But even in decay, the seeds of new growth, of a new beginning, new potential are found. And that's quite a remarkable thought if you think about it. Okay, for something to come into being, something else is coming out of being. It's just this constant dance of change. Now, once we can grasp the understanding that change is the only constant in life, that leads us to the question, well, okay, so how do we deal with the fact that life is just constantly changing? How do we embrace that fact? And this is where the beauty of Buddhist philosophy can be a guiding light. So in Buddhism, there's this concept of non-attachment. So non-attachment is essentially the art of living life fully, in the moment, without clinging to it. So it's about finding joy in the experience of life without the fear of loss or without the fear of change. Now, non-attachment doesn't mean indifference or a lack of care. What it really means is embracing each moment, each experience, each person as what they truly are. They're a part of your journey, your life's journey, but they're not the entirety of the journey. It's like watching leaves or flowers floating down a river. We enjoy them for their beauty in that moment, but we don't try to stop them from flowing because we understand that they're a part of a much larger flow. Now, the Buddha famously said that life is suffering, and most of that suffering comes from our tendency to cling to and attach to things that by their nature are impermanent and transitory. Now, I've noticed that in my own life, when I give up my tight grip on how I think things should be, this opens me up to the beauty of how things are, and I can just experience life as it is. Now, this is a subtle shift in perspective, but it has greatly changed my life for the better. Just being able to accept and experience life as it is without the fear of loss and without the fear that this moment is going to change, because I know that it will. So now naturally, the next question becomes, how do we apply this philosophy in our own lives? And it's quite simpler than you might think. So now, just like you, throughout my life, I've had my share of ups and downs and my tough times. But throughout these tough times, there's a mantra that I fall back on, and that is, this too shall pass. Now, it's a powerful mantra because it gives me the strength to keep going, to persevere, knowing that these tough times, these hard times, they don't last forever, and better days are on the horizon. And during the good times, I tell myself the same thing. This too shall pass. Now, it sounds a bit counterintuitive in this part, but really, what I'm doing during the good times, and I tell myself that this too will pass, it makes me really appreciate it in that moment, to be fully present, because I know that it's going to end, it's going to change, and maybe some bad times are just around the corner. Hopefully not, hopefully it's more good times, but you just never know in this constant changing world that we live in. So, whether you're going through good times or whether you're going through bad times, keep reminding yourself that this too shall pass. It'll give you the power and the determination to get through the bad times, and it will remind you to fully embrace and enjoy the good times. So remember, this too shall pass. And so in embracing the fact that change is the only constant in our lives, we learn how to appreciate the full spectrum of experiences in our lives. Because just remember the words of the great 1990s philosopher Forrest Gump, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And so if you can roll with the punches and embrace change, it doesn't matter what life throws at you, because you know this too shall pass, and you get to experience the full spectrum of life. Now, as we come to an end of today's journey, guys, let's just take a quick moment to reflect on what we discussed. So first, we discussed the fact that the only constant in life is change. Everything is constantly changing, evolving, growing, decaying, growing, evolving, decaying, and it's just a constant dance of change. And we are both the dancer and the dance itself. Then we also explored the powerful concept of non-attachment from Buddhism, about how we can just embrace the experience, be here now, and not attach a certain outcome or our feelings or our joy and happiness to what's happening in life, because by its very nature, it's transitory. It's going to change. And if we attach our happiness to it and then it changes, our happiness goes away with it. So practice that non-attachment. And we also looked at a practical way to deal with the change, to remind ourselves that this too shall pass. So in the negative times, it'll give us the strength to persevere and push through. And during the good times, that mantra will remind us to enjoy the moment, to be fully present and just have fun in the good times. I encourage you now, as you go about your daily lives, pause and consider, where can you practice non-attachment in your own lives? Where can you embrace change more openly? Because remember, change is the only constant, so we can't fight it. The best thing to do is to adapt and grow with every opportunity that these changes bring us. So change isn't something to be endured. It's something to be celebrated. It's the rhythm of life. It's what makes life exciting. It's what makes life great. Imagine a song that only played one note, just over and over again. It was just that same one note. Or imagine a movie where every scene is the same. Or a book where every sentence or paragraph is the same sentence or paragraph. It becomes stagnant. It becomes boring. We need that change. That's the dance of life. So just embrace it. Practice that non-attachment in every moment of your life. Don't attach yourself to the moment you're in now. Just keep reminding yourself, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. And that's going to do it for today's video, guys. So thank you so much for sticking with me all the way to the end if you're still here. And if you have found this video useful in any way, please feel free to share it with anyone else who you think might benefit from this topic. Also, don't forget to like the video, and if you're after more videos like this, please consider subscribing to the channel, ringing the notification bell. I post every Monday, Wednesday and Friday with videos similar to this. And lastly, please leave a comment discussing anything you would like from today's video. So you could talk about where you practice non-attachment in your life, or how you're going to start practicing non-attachment in your life. Maybe you've used the this too shall pass, or you want to use that in your life. So just remember, leave all of that in the comments below, because you also never know who your ideas or who your experiences are actually going to help on their life's journey as well. And so until next time, guys, I'll leave you as I always do and encourage you to take control and responsibility of your life and make it extraordinary. And until next time, take care of yourself, take care of everyone else.